All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back. We are here for the final part of our series on resources. So, in our last couple of explainers, we figured out what a resource even is, and then we dug into all the different types, right? The renewable ones, the non renewable ones, all that good stuff. Well, today we get to the really, really important part. How do we actually protect them for the future?
Yep, so we've got the what and the which kind down. Now it's time to tackle the biggest question of all. So what do we do about it? This is all about making sure there's enough to go around, not just for us right now, but for literally everyone in the future.
Okay, so first things first, before we can talk about solutions, we got to get real about the problem. Let's really dig into what we're up against and why, we can't just put this off for later. And you might be thinking, hold on a second. We've got tons of resources, right? I mean, you look outside, you see trees, you've got water, the sun comes up every day. It really seems like there's plenty for everybody. So what's the big deal? Why are we so worried about them? Well, here's the thing. The problem kind of has two parts. You've got your renewable resources, think water, forests. Now, even though they can come back, if we're not careful, if we use them way too fast, they can still get super scarce. But then you have the non-renewable ones. And this is the scary part. Things like coal, oil, minerals, once they're used up, that's it. Game over. They are not coming back. And that's the real ticking clock we're up against. Okay, so that's the problem. Kind of heavy, I know. But let's shift gears and talk about solutions. Because this is the awesome part. This is where we get to talk about what we can actually do. And I'm not just talking about governments or big companies. I'm talking about you. So the big idea, the main game plan here is something called resource conservation. And honestly, it's a really simple concept at its core. It just means using our resources wisely, carefully, and super importantly, giving them enough time to bounce back. It's like a garden, right? You can't just keep picking from it without letting it rest and grow. Same idea. And here's the most important takeaway. For real, this is not a job for someone else. It's not just for scientists or politicians. It's for every single one of us. Literally every choice you make, from what you buy to what you throw away, it all adds up. And it's not some super complicated secret formula. You probably already know the magic words, the 3 R's. First up, reduce. This one's easy. Just use less stuff. Shorter showers, turn off the lights when you leave a room, you get it. Then there's reuse. Before you toss something, think, can this be used again? That old t-shirt? Cleaning rag? That glass jar? Perfect for holding pens. And finally, recycle. This is where we take old materials and give them a whole new life as something else. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Simple, but so powerful. Okay, so we have these small, everyday actions. But what are they all building towards? Well, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. All these little things we do add up to this huge, super important goal called sustainable development. And it's all about one key idea: balance. In this right here, this quote just nails it. It's all about using what we need to live well today, but, and this is the crucial part, doing it in a way that doesn't totally wreck things for the people who come after us, for future generations. And here's the official textbook definition. You're definitely going to want to remember this one for your exams. Sustainable development is just that. It's that perfect balance. We meet our needs, but we don't make it impossible for future generations to meet their needs. It's really all about being fair to the future. So, okay, how do we actually do this? What's the rule book? Well, it's all based on these key principles. Let's run through them. First, respect and care for all forms of life. That means everything, from the biggest whale to the tiniest bug. Next, improve the quality of human life. We want everyone to have a good, healthy life. Then, conserve the Earth's vitality and diversity. Basically, let's keep our planet healthy and full of amazing different plants and animals. We also need to minimize the depletion of natural resources, slow down on using up the stuff that doesn't come back. And these last two are huge for us personally. Change personal attitude and practices, and enable communities to care for their own environment. It all comes back to us, you see. Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe most important point. We've looked at the problem, we've looked at the big goal, now let's talk about where we fit in. Because this isn't someone else's job. This is on all of us. Think about it. The Earth gives us literally everything we need to survive. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. It's our planet-sized life support system. And when you have something that important, you have a duty, a deep responsibility to protect it. It's not just a nice idea, it's something we have to do. So what does that duty look like in practice? Well, it really boils down to three main things. First, make sure our use of renewable stuff is sustainable. Simple example, don't chop down forests faster than they can regrow. Second, conserve the diversity of life on Earth. We need to protect all the incredible, different living things out there. And third, minimize the damage we do to the environment. And hey, that sounds a lot like reduce, reuse, recycle, doesn't it? See how it all connects? Every time you decide to reuse a bottle, or recycle some paper, or even just turn off a light, you're not just doing a small thing. You're actively taking part in fulfilling these huge global duties. Your tiny actions are the fuel that makes this whole thing work. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. So there you have it. We've talked about conservation, sustainable development, and our shared duties to our planet. Now the ball is in your court. I want you to really think about it. Out of everything we discussed, which one thing are you going to start with? Today, what's your first step going to be? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.